Tyler Menninga looks to continue his run at the top in Anaheim. However, the Angel Stadium track has not historically been a friend to the Gravedigger driver. Will history repeat itself? The same cannot be said of Ryan Anderson, who has 6 stadium wins in the last 3 years on this track. Will success here allow him to continue to chip away at Tyler's lead? And can Ryan Disharoon drive Shaker to his 2nd straight racing win under the bright lights of LA? Find out next as Stadium Championship Series Blue starts now. The city of Anaheim, located in beautiful Orange County, California, is the home of Angel Stadium and where Monster Jam Stadium Championship Series Blue will compete today. Hello, everyone. I'm Leslie Mears, joined once again by the 7 Deuce, Adam Etchicknap. In today's round, Ryan Anderson returns to a track where he has had more success than any other driver in the last few years. He has 7 event championships over the last 3 years here. So, Adam, does he continue that success today?
I mean, I think he does. Supercross, this is a very special place for us because it's the season opener, but I think it's even more special for Ryan Anderson. For some reason, that son of a digger truck and this Anaheim dirt just seem to mend. He's had some historical freestyle runs here in Anaheim, puts a little bit more pressure on, but Ryan Anderson, he's clutch.
Yeah, he's coming off a great event, too. Now, Tyler Menninga is the guy he's gunning for out there. He has a large lead in the series point standings. But when you look at Tyler's history in Anaheim, it's not consistent with the rest of his career. So in 6 appearances, only 1 time on the podium, and that's in skills.
Yeah, you know, for Tyler, one of the biggest things is at the previous round, he was 9th. That is the worst event of the season for Tyler. And like we talked about, there's certain places that are special for certain drivers, but that also can be the opposite. For Tyler today, he just needs to put the past behind him, do what he needs to do, and get it done.
Yeah, and that last event includes a DNF in freestyle, too. One driver who did take advantage of Tyler's last event at Angel Stadium is Shaker's Ryan Disharoon, who beat Tyler and Ryan Anderson to win his first racing competition of the season. So how does Ryan Disharoon use this, Adam, to kind of give him that kickstart he needs to find consistency?
You know, I think one of the big things Ryan needs to take from this is he needs to know that he inflicted a little bit of fear in Ryan and Tyler, and those are the big heavy hitters. Not only that, but he can take a little bit of confidence in his truck and his crew, carry that over tonight. He knows the dirt, he knows how to win here, and needs to try to get it done again.
Yeah, it seems like he and his dad, Rick, finally have that truck dialed in, and we caught up with him earlier today in this UNOH Pit Report.
You know, I felt pretty good all year about my racing strategies. We've been in the finals 2 times, made some semifinal appearances, but I just couldn't seem to grab that racing win. After last night, getting the racing win, especially against Ryan Anderson, I mean, it's kind of a big deal. And I gotta tell you, boosts my confidence, my team's pumped, I'm pumped. I think it's gonna lead to some good energy tonight. If anybody saw the big screen when I won, and it was a close race, so he was on the edge of his seat, but when I won, he was jumping up and down, and my crew chief was in my ear, dude, you did it, you won. I'm like, heck yeah, man. And I just laid into that thing and put on a little celebratory, and everybody was pumped. I like to say thanks to my crew, man, and my wife back home. She's putting up with a lot, me being gone. This Monster Jam stuff's not easy, man, but we're out here, we're doing it, we're living the dream. And I got my dad being my crew chief, Jordan Fisher, a great mechanic and an excellent crew guy. I tell you what, guys, pursue your dreams, because it'll pay off.
Yeah, paying off dividends in a huge way here. So we've talked about 3 of our 12 drivers in the field. Who else do you think is going to challenge for the event championship here, Adam?
You know, Leslie, there are a couple of drivers that I want to talk about. Cynthia has won freestyle in her last 2 appearances in Anaheim. Jim got his first overall event championship here in 2020. So those are 2 drivers that definitely can get it done. I'm keeping my eye on Tyler Menninga, though. He had a terrible previous round like we talked about before, but for Tyler, it's going to be a huge win or a complete flop, and I'm ready to see if the Stadium Series sophomore can get it done.
Now he's got that huge lead, as you mentioned. He's had the lead for 10 of 11 of the events so far this season, and now it's dwindled down to just 35 points. And you see Barry Moosauer solid there in third, Corey Rummel and Colt Stevens battling out there in the top 5, and then there's a little bit of a drop off there and some room for growth for everybody.
Yeah, I'd really love to see this Colt Stevens and John Gordon get a little bit closer to Corey Rummel. That battle's going to heat up quickly. But also, I've got my eye on Ryan Anderson to see if he can carry that momentum into this round.
Well, the drivers are going to compete tonight in 3 different competitions. Bracket style racing, the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and freestyle. Points awarded based on the finish, with 12 going to the winner of each competition, and we'll total those up at the end of the night to determine our overall event championship. So it's time for track talk now, and Anaheim is one of those historic tracks that fans and drivers alike all add to their bucket list to set up the dirt just a little bit different than what they've encountered so far this season.
Yeah, this is my home track here at Angel Stadium, and I know a lot about this place. In Anaheim, it's a dark clay type of dirt that can be very tacky or very slick. It's a day event here in Anaheim, so they're gonna throw a significant amount of water down to battle that sun. Look for the track to be slick at the beginning and then start to tack up as the day goes on. In racing, it's gonna be crucial to find a line with some dry dirt. For two-wheel skills, you need to find the tacky areas of the floor, and when it comes to freestyle, it's game on.
So our drivers are going to kick it off with racing. Here's a first look at our racing bracket. So Lucas Stabilizer versus Avenger, Megalodon versus Thunder Aurora, Son of a Digger versus Axe, and finally Zombie versus Monster Mutt, with Shaker, El Toro Loco, Bad Company, and Gravedigger all getting those first round buys. So who do you have your eye on?
I mean, I gotta go with that Corey versus Colt. Only 6 points separate Colt Stevens and Corey Rummel. If Corey gets the win here, he'll get a little bit of separation and breathing room, but if Colt wins, he could be leading Corey into two-wheel skills.
It's going to be exciting for sure. So it's time to head down the track for our first race of the night. So we've got Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer, against Jim Kohler in Avenger.
Cynthia off to a great start in that first corner. Jim Kohler goes a little bit wide.
And he hits the wall there.
Tags the wall.
That's going to be very, very hard for him to recover. Cynthia just cruising along, knowing she's got some safe space here, not vying for that buy run, but she spins out. And Kohler will cross the finish line first here.
That's exactly what we were talking about earlier with Track Talk. They put a lot of water down. You got to look for that dry line.
So Kohler advancing here. Let's take a look at our original Super Glue Glitch, the action replay.
You see Jim Kohler, he just crabs that slick dirt here in Anaheim, runs right into the wall, and then Cynthia Gauthier pushes it too hard into that second and final corner, spins out, and loses it to Avenger.
So we know where the problem area on the track is going to be as we take a look at our next matchup here. Corey Rummel against Colt Stevens. So here's the one you said we should watch out for.
Both off to a good start. Let's see these first turns.
Corey getting through that slick corner, goes a little deep here. Colt with the edge there at the halfway point.
Yeah, both of them went a little bit deep, Leslie.
Here's where Colt has to really pick it up and kind of learn from that previous race. It's going to be tight. A great finish here. A little too close to call for our drivers out here. Let's take a look at our original Super Glue Glitch, the action replay.
Coming across the line so close, and they give it to Corey Rummel.
Megalodon moving on here in the bracket, and we'll find out the fate of our next pair here. Joe Foley in Axe versus Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. And Ryan Anderson going to encounter that problem area on the track first here as Foley hits the turn pod.
Foley up on two wheels. Ryan Anderson definitely at the advantage.
Evenly matched across the finish line, though. Anderson finishing on the side that's had better luck for our competitors. And that's going to make all the difference for him there. So a telltale sign on the track being put out there for our drivers as Anderson advances in Son of a Digger. So our final first round matchup, Barry Moosauer in Zombie versus Chris Kohler in Monster Mutt.
Both off to a good start, Leslie. They make it around the first corner. Monster Mutt very wide.
He's got time to make it up on the other end. They are slight 2 truck length advantage to Zombie, but he's sliding deep, trying to power through. And that's going to take it for Bari Musauer in Zombie. And so definitely a lot of talk with his crew chief there to help him out as we'll take another look at our replay.
All right, so let's take a look at Chris Kohler. He grabs the edge of that jump, pushes wide into that corner. As you can see, Zombie coming around, getting the win. Congratulations, Zombie Nation.
And it didn't look fast, but it was actually the fastest time of round one, thrown down there by Bari Musauer. And he's going to need it as he faces Gravedigger in round two, then Bad Company versus Son of a Digger, El Toro Loco versus Megalodon, and then Shaker versus Avenger. Disharoon got his first racing win of the season right here in Anaheim. Can he make it two? Find out next on Monster Jam. We are back in Anaheim for the second round of racing. Our first round two matchup features Anaheim racing winner Ryan Disharoon up against 26-year veteran Jim Kohler in Avenger.
Jim Kohler with a little bit of an advantage being on the track already. Let's see if he makes those corrections.
So swinging deep there, crossing the finish line just a little bit slower. Disharoon 15-8 on the season, tied for second best racing record, showing he's got the prowess here as he easily takes the win, advancing here to the semifinals. So it'll take us to our second matchup of round two here. Costa Rica's Mark List against the 2022 Breakout Driver of the Year, Corey Rummel.
Mark List with a little bit of an advantage off that pod. They need to stay to the inside, learn something from Ryan Disharoon.
Mark struggled this year in racing, only 2-9 on the year, but he's got the back corner out of the way first. Can he make up the time here? So close as they cross the finish line here. It's looking like Rummel is going to take the victory. Let's take a look at the original Super Glue Glued to the Action replay.
I will tell you what, Corey Rummel and Megalodon, they have that truck hooking up. He hit the perfect line, executed, and got the win.
A great win for Rummel. He's kind of getting that old racing feeling back here. As we move on here, Bad Company's John Gordon taking on Son of a Digger's Ryan Anderson, and these two have faced each other so many times this season. You know this is going to be a good one.
Ryan Anderson choosing the opposite lane. John Gordon clipping the pod at the beginning of that first turn. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's all about who can run the cleanest on this racing track. And again, Gordon making up the time. A little too close to call there. We'll have to take one more look at it here with our replay and see who crossed that line first.
That's what I was talking about right there. That was the mistake that cost John Gordon grabbing that pod. Ryan Anderson looks like he is on in Anaheim, coming away with the win.
Yeah, also coming off second in racing just 1 day ago. And so he will advance to the semifinals to try to best that and put himself on top of the box here. As we've got the man with the best record in racing on this tour, Tyler Menninga Gravedigger with Bari Musauer Zombie.
Okay, Bari, stick to the inside. Tyler looking good. Both of these lines are great. This is going to be a close race, Leslie.
Bari with the advantage. He's already felt that end of the track, so he knows what to do to move on. But it's the tight turns for Gravedigger that will allow him to advance into the semifinal round. Let's take a look at the original Super Glue Glued to the Action replay.
Right here, you can just see Tyler hugging that inside line on this last corner. Bari goes just a little too wide, giving the advantage to Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger.
So in the semifinals, it'll be Disharoon and Shaker versus Rummel and Megalodon, and Anderson and Son of a Digger versus Menninga in Gravedigger, with Ryan Anderson posting the fastest time of the second round. And that's critical for him because he will have lane choice against the best driver in racing on this tour. When we come back, the Final Four battle for the racing crown. Who will it be? We'll find out next on Monster Jam. We are back at Angel Stadium in Anaheim for the Monster Jam Racing semifinals. So our first matchup is Ryan Disharoon and Shaker with lane choice, and he will now go up against Mark List and El Toro Loco. Corey Rummel had an issue, and he wasn't able to get fired back up and race ready. And so we can probably guess that it could have something to do with maybe a battery issue here. That's usually what keeps people from firing up here in competition.
Man, I'll tell you what, Ryan off to a great start. He pushes a little wide in that second turn. They're right neck and neck.
Yeah, it's this final corner, though. Look how deep he goes. That's going to set him apart, and he hits the turn pod. And Mark List, how about it? He was eliminated, he comes back, and now he's going to the racing final.
Wow, what an upset. Ryan Disharoon making just a couple mistakes, and Mark List taking advantage of it to put El Toro Loco in the racing final.
Yeah, he needed that too. So this is the race that counts here. Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, versus Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. Remember, these two vying it out for that points championship, and Ryan Anderson needs points here now.
And man, did you see Tyler's front wheels? He had them turned on the pod. Let's see if that's gonna be an advantage.
So he has a slight advantage now coming into this final turn. Let's see how tight he makes it.
Woo, Ryan Anderson with a great last corner.
And it is too close to call. Menninga hit that turn pod on his final turn. We'll take a look at the original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
Oh man, he stays in it. Look at this last corner by Ryan Anderson coming so close to that jump on the inside.
And Menninga crosses first. So the final round is set here. El Toro Loco versus Gravedigger. Mark List with new life. What does he need to get the upset here?
Man, I'll tell you what, we've been watching these drivers each and every race, and you have to stay to the inside. It looks like that dirt is just a little bit tackier, and the trucks are hooking up, so he has to not drift wide, stay to the inside, and make no mistakes.
Yeah, the no mistakes part's critical here. Tyler Menninga, 27-4, 6 racing competition wins on the season, so he is tough. And he understands what it's like to feel this pressure that Mark has right now in our final round.
It looks like Mark was off to a little bit better start, and the track's getting a little dusty. I wonder if that's going to affect Tyler on the opposite side.
Could be a different line here. Tyler going a little bit wider, tighter now. Let's see how they take the final turn. Menninga, just too much experience in the final round, and he will be your racing winner. Let's take a look at our original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
Mark List coming off the racing jump, just gets a bad bounce, has to push wide, gets in the dry, slick stuff on the outside, can't put the power down, and Tyler gets the win.
So he gets the 12 critical points here as we take a look at our first BKT overall point standings here. And then, of course, List, Anderson, Disharoon, and Gordon to round out the top 5. The next competition in Anaheim was the Great Clip Skills Challenge, where drivers could attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels or opt to do a single donut. And each driver was judged by the fans on creativity, skill, and execution. Of course, 12 points on the line as we take a look back here at our top competitors. Coming in 5th was Bari Musauer, throwing down an amazing cyclone.
What a good choice on this dry dirt here in Anaheim, throwing up a little bit of dust. The crowd was loving it.
Yeah, and the variation, too, the crowd loves. In 4th, Jim Kohler in Avenger with some huge air.
Woo! Throwing a little sky wheelie, getting those 2 front wheels straight up in the air here in Anaheim.
Love that he saved it, too. In 3rd place, we had Mark List pulling off the Matador Moonwalk.
Man, he is so good at this. Mark List, definitely one of our more technical drivers. Throws it into a moonwalk and then gets the nose wheelie, setting it down just right. No damage to the truck. Onward.
2nd, Ryan Anderson, who starts with a bicycle. Look at him thread the needle here, and then he hits that sidewall donut. Here it comes.
Ryan Anderson, so good turning those bicycle into cyclones. I wish he would have landed on all 4, but better luck next time.
And it will be a bicycle for the win here for Tyler Menninga. And look how long it is.
Made a half moon shape all the way around Angel Stadium, turns it into a combination, nose wheelie. Oh my goodness, he's so good at 2-wheel skills.
Tyler Menninga 2 for 2 on the night, and he's with our pit reporter, Lindsay Noble.
Congratulations to Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger on another win here at Angel Stadium. You know, going 12th is really difficult with all of these tough competitors. What'd you have to do to get that win?
Yeah, you know what? I see what Ryan did. I knew I was going to go for a bicycle, and I watch him the most because he is so good at bicycling. So I knew it was slick right there. Honestly, on that second hit, I wish he could have got that one up. You know what? But I love that first one. I love riding those bicycles as long as I can.
It's his 6th skills win of the season, and it gets him 12 more points. So he's a perfect 24 so far on the night as we take a look at our BKT overall point standing. Anderson and List tied for 2nd. Then it starts to drop off a little in 4th and 5th with Disharoon and Kohler. 2 competitions in, and Tyler Menninga has a perfect event. Can he keep it going and win another event championship? Find out when Freestyle begins next on Monster Jam. Angel Stadium, the home of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, today plays host for round 12 of the Monster Jam season. Welcome back inside the Monster Jam studio. We're at the halfway point of round 12, and Tyler Menninga is once again flirting with perfection, winning the first 2 competitions. He's had a perfect event once this season back in San Diego under a little bit different track conditions because it was a mud event. So what's he got to do to keep this train rolling?
I will tell you what, he seems to have this Anaheim dirt figured out, but he needs to stay confident in his truck and himself. We both know, Leslie, that this stadium is Tyler's kryptonite. He needs to go out, put the past in the past, believe in his abilities, and do what he knows how to do.
Yeah, now Mark List is off to a strong start with 2 top 3 finishes, and there have been a few bright spots in what's been mostly a rough season for him. So how has he been able to stay near the top today?
You know, he's just had a lot of luck on his side, and I think it's finally coming together. He's had truck issues, he's had electrical issues, and then he's just had some bad things happen to him that were super unfortunate. For Mark Liss and El Toro Loco, it seems like when his truck and everything's working right, he truly can have symmetry. When that all happens, man, we can see some magic out of him.
And he's currently tied for 2nd with Ryan Anderson on the BKT overall event leaderboard. And as I mentioned, perfect event so far. And then when you get to 4th, it's a bit of a drop off with Disharoon trailing by 8 and Kohler and Musauer down by 10. Cynthia Gauthier will kick off Freestyle, and remember, she has 2 Freestyle wins on the season this year. Then Menninga will go 2nd, and that's a rare chance for him to go early as he had that DNF 1 round to go. Mark List out 10th, and then Ryan Anderson will close out the competition. So Adam, if you're Tyler and you're sitting in the number 2 spot, how do you come out?
I mean, I will tell you what, you gotta go big and you gotta lay it down. He has set himself up so perfectly in this competition. The only player in this game right now is Cynthia is going out first.
So it's time for the final competition of the night, and up first, Cynthia Gauthier in Lucas Stabilizer. Now she has 2 Freestyle wins at Angel Stadium in her 3 starts here, and you know, she told me that when she comes into a place like this where she's got good history, it just gives her good vibes and she feels like she's got a lot more confidence.
A nice big air off the racing ramp to start out. She's working the whole stadium. These drivers are starting to get used to this track. We're getting towards the middle of that season, so they're starting to figure it out. And a nice sky wheelie. Nice job getting that thing straight up and down.
Great throttle rhythm to get that slap up and then control it nice and slowly across the floor.
Yeah, thanks for the correction. That was definitely not a sky wheelie, Leslie. That was a slap wheelie. But she's getting it done. And something I'm looking at on the track is where they're watering the track as well. You can see those slick spots. So Cynthia needs to be very cautious when she goes to hit the jumps. Make sure she doesn't come up short by hitting the throttle too hard in those slick areas.
Yeah, kind of building her momentum here as we attack the center pod. Usually you can combo up a skills move with that. The door flopping open. I think that would be terrifying to have the door flapping open during freestyle.
I mean, you know the fans love it when these trucks get torn apart, and I don't think Cynthia cares. She's had that thing flapping open quite a few times before. Right now, though, I'm not seeing a lot of momentum. I'm seeing her kind of search, and that's one thing that I love that Bari does in Zombie. He plans out his run. Here she goes for the backflip. Huge air on the backflip, landing right on the right rear tire. It looks like she broke off the back rear wheel. What a bummer for Cynthia.
It'll be an 8.647 as we take a look at the original Superglue glitch, the action replay.
Here she comes up, over-rotates that backflip, lands really hard on that right rear tire. You can see that back shock coming off. What a heavy hit for Cynthia.
So next out, the current overall event leader, Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger, and he has a chance here to set the bar super high and really kind of lock up this perfect event and the overall event championship here.
Yep, you can see Tyler hitting those slick areas, but man, one thing that I do love that he does, and these other drivers need to take note, is he comes out so fast with so much speed and gets that throttle rhythm going quick, hitting a little supercross brake check in the air, getting that thing on all fours. What an expert move so far for Tyler.
And it sets him up perfect with that brake check for the two-wheel skill maneuver to rebound. So he plans for the second rebound. You know how it's gonna hit the first time, and you just have to gather yourself up and plan for that second hit. And then when you do that, that's how you can go forward. So the guys that you see are able to rebound well are planning for that as they go.
A little bit of cross-threading. Doing a little bit different line than we've seen from Tyler normally, coming up to the step up. Nice and clean. Oh, that warms my heart as a supercross racer to see a nice smooth landing, Leslie.
We do want to note, too, the track just slightly different. And so the backflip ramp, the trench box backflip ramp, is located over by the step up. And so that's something that our drivers are going to have to adjust to that they're not used to seeing on this particular tour. So here he goes. He's heading for it. Oh, nope. He's going to fake us out and give us a couple. Oh, nice slide.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Style points for sure on that as he makes his way to the backflip ramp.
Here he comes for the backflip. Hits the throttle in the perfect spot. Picture perfect. Hits the combo move.
Oh,
with
nice.
another combo. Throws it into a wheelie. This is going to be a big score, Leslie.
I don't even know here. We had the moonwalk. We had the walk the plank, off the backflip. I mean, the triple combo.
We had so many moves, I didn't even know
And
what
now,
was going
can
on.
he save it to end the run? No, but talk about wow-filled moments. Remember, he's got to get third or better here in the freestyle competition if he wants to lock up the overall.
You see him hit this backflip, lands nicely on all fours, already has it in reverse, ready for the combo move, into a wheelie, hitting the double combo after the backflip. Amazing run by Tyler.
And that score, a 9.444. He's knocking on the door of perfection. Will he get it? Find out when Monster Jam returns. Welcome back to Anaheim. Earlier today, fans took over Angel Stadium for the pit party. For the opportunity to meet the drivers, see the trucks up close, and so much more, be sure to visit the pit party at your next Monster Jam. So now back to the action. It's the Metal Shop's Flying Ryan Disharoon in Shaker.
Coming off the race ramp. Not a huge air, but remember, these guys want to fill that first 30 seconds to make sure they get a score, and they also want to ramp up that freestyle towards the end, so start off kind of slow and then pick up the momentum.
And I think we might want to remind everybody that freestyle is 120 seconds long, 2 minutes. And in a Monster Jam truck, going as hard as you can, it feels more like 2 hours sometimes as these guys are making laps. So they may do a little bit of a slow move at the beginning to try to make that build up to the very end.
And not only that, Leslie, but like you're thinking about so much stuff. You're like, okay, I gotta hit the ramp at this angle to make sure the truck, lands perfectly or goes off the ramp perfectly. Okay, which jump do I gotta hit next? How am I gonna change it up from the last round? There's so many things going through your mind as a Monster Jam driver to try to execute in these runs. It just goes by so fast.
Yeah, we saw earlier, oh my goodness.
A bad bounce for Ryan Disharoon, but he lands on all 4 BKTs.
All right, let's see if they're going to fire him back up and give him some more clock here. Now, that's going to be the real question. You can see his right hand going to work. He's turning off things so that he can get his RI reset so that he can start to refire, and that's exactly what he does.
Nice recovery, Ryan. Oh, a little too far. Got excited when they restarted him.
So Disharoon here was in it for the overall event championship, and then with Tyler Menninga, nice slap wheelie here. With Menninga going out, posting such a big score, his hopes of that overall are pretty much gone. However, he can spoil the perfect event here that Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger has rolling. Here we come for the backflip. Let's see his approach.
Ooh, way too fast. Lands on the rear bumper.
Over-rotates, tried to give a little bit of throttle at the end to save it. And not enough, an 8.141 as we take a look at our replay.
Here it is, Ryan Disharoon gets a bad bounce off of the pod, rolls up onto that side race ramp and makes the save. But this is the backflip, just hits the throttle way too hard at the last second, over rotates, lands on the bumper, and we're glad to see he's all right.
Yeah, he's feeling good about it though, right?
Yeah.
We've still got a long way to go before we crown the event champion, so stick around for more Monster Jam Freestyle next. You're watching Monster Jam Stadium Championship Series Blue at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. Tyler Menninga has the event lead, and if he hangs on to the series lead, he'll earn an automatic bid to World Finals 22 in Nashville. And if you want to head to the biggest event of the year, make sure you go to monsterjam.com to book your trip to Music City. Next out, two-time World Finals Freestyle champion Jim Kohler in Avenger.
Man, I will tell you what, Mr. Excitement, I love watching this guy in freestyle. And you know something else that I really appreciate is all the different bodies that Jim Kohler brings out to the events to show all the fans. It is so cool that he does that. An amazing job.
Yeah, it started out just a World Finals new body every year, and he's decided to bring him out of retirement, which we all love. And we've all got our favorites for sure. Love the fire body for this weekend.
Jim Kohler getting a little slap wheelie, kind of cross-threading a little bit, hitting the jumps at a different angle, showing the fans something new. We know that something new always gets us a better score. So Jim Kohler starting off this freestyle run right.
And the fans love Jim Kohler in Anaheim, and he shows out for him for sure. He got his first overall event championship in 2020 here. He also has 2 freestyle wins and 2 skills wins here. So he knows how to get it done for these fans who show him love.
And just to, go back to that too, that's his first ever overall event championship in Anaheim. And that means a lot. As a racer, those big momentous achievements where you get those wins or you get those good positions, you remember that for the rest of your life and you carry that confidence. And I think that's a little bit what we're seeing with Jim Kohler right now.
I love he included the donut into his freestyle into some big air. And he's known for avoiding that trench box backflip and going for the 8-pack. That's usually the finale to his freestyle run as he gets a little pop and drop there.
For Mr. Excitement so far, oh, here he comes. He's coming into the 8-pack. Let's see it, Leslie.
It's given him some fits and twists so far this year. Let's see if it stays straight.
Ooh, a nice little twist, but he lands on all 4s. And then let's see it. Come on, Mr. Excitement, send it.
The way that truck is running, it sounds like he's got a bit of an issue after the backflip there, but ends with a bang. I love he was able to stick that landing on the backflip, and he's still rolling. Look at this donut.
I love it. Jim Kohler taking advantage of that slick afternoon clay. He's going off for the fans here in Anaheim.
Still some time on the clock, and Avenger will just put it on top of the pod. A little bit of ballyhoo there from the crowd is an 8.828. Let's look at our original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
Jim Kohler coming up to the 8-pack, hits the throttle right at the bottom. Great rotation, gets a little twist, but it doesn't matter for Mr. Excitement.
Here's Mark List and El Toro Loco currently tied in second with 21 points, 3 off Tyler's lead. And so he still has the freestyle lead here. So Mark needs to take the lead here and hopefully get some help from some others in freestyle if he wants an opportunity to take that overall event championship.
Man, I will tell you what, Leslie, this is a huge moment right now for Mark List. I cannot stress that enough. He's been up and down this season. He's had some good events, and then he's had some really bad events. He needs the momentum. He needs to start getting this El Toro Loco at the top of these event championships, and he has the opportunity right now to do it.
Yeah, he quietly took an overall event championship earlier this season. Only one of 3 of the 12 drivers on this tour to win the overall event championship this season. So we know he's got it in him.
Okay, Mark, you need to start working the outside of the track. We need to see more speed. The fans love to see that momentum. Right now, it kind of looks like he's either searching or he doesn't have a handle on how slick this dirt is. Something's going on right now.
Yeah, a 9.444 is our score to beat right now.
Coming into
Slow
the back
and steady,
flip.
I like it. Nice.
Ooh, little combination into the nose wheelie. Nice save from Mark List, but Mark, you gotta get it going right now. Hammer that throttle.
Little sideways off the step up. It's gonna put him into another obstacle.
Save it, hit the throttle.
Gonna put him on his lid, an 8.374 here for El Toro Loco as we take a look at the original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
Here he comes into the backflip. I like this side of the backflip box right now. Good rotation, maybe a little bit over, but he might have done that on purpose to try to get the combination move. Gets a bounce off those front BKT tires, sets it down nicely.
So that will put him into 4th overall. So he's out of the conversation for the overall event championship. And Tyler Menninga still has an opportunity at perfection with just 2 competitors left here in freestyle. 2 trucks remain. Can John Gordon or Ryan Anderson spoil Tyler Menninga's perfect day? We'll find out when freestyle continues after this. We're back with more Monster Jam in Anaheim. And before we get back to the track, let's take one more look at the BKT overall event leaderboard. Tyler Menninga doubled down earlier and leads the way with 24. Mark List, Ryan Anderson are 3 behind. Disharoon is down by 8, and Moosauer and Kohler by 10. Back to the track, John Gordon in Bad Company up next. And so he's making his 5th straight start here at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. Knows the track well.
There we go, Leslie. I love that little bit of cross-threading onto the pod, hitting the side of that jump, getting a big air to start out.
Oh, look at this move right across the pod. What a great wheelie.
Yeah, getting that front end 90 degrees up in the sky, saying hi to those Angels at Angel Stadium.
Working his way back to the inside, clears the pod. Good throttle rhythm here from Bad Company.
Yeah, he's always had good throttle rhythm. Something else he's had is just good timing in general. If you watch John Gordon, he lands the jumps very calculated. He knows where he's going to land on the jumps. He doesn't make a lot of big mistakes after he lands, and that is due to landing in the perfect spot every single time he lands that 12,000-pound Monster Jam truck.
And I think sometimes it hurts him with our fan judging because he makes it look too easy sometimes. There's not a lot of chaos out there in his run. He's got those perfect backsides like you mentioned, and I don't know if sometimes our fan judges really appreciate that as much as we do here in the booth.
I definitely agree with you. You know, when you watch a Ryan Anderson run, he's calculated at some points, but then he'll just send it to the absolute moon and get a little bit chaotic. It's almost like John Gordon's a little bit too controlled, and there's nothing that really gets the crowd on their feet. But as an expert, a supercross racer, man, I just have so much respect for John Gordon to see how good he is in this truck.
Time winding down here. Time for some bigger moves as he's really amping it up, coming around the outside, going to the step up. Clears it. No backside there.
Ooh.
Little wheelie at the end. Little bump. Hey, what's up, Monster Mutt?
Saying hi to his buddy Chris Kohler, lining up for the backflip. Huge air on the backflip, under rotates just a little bit, but gets a great bounce. It looks like he's stalled out.
8.332 for Bad Company as we'll take a look at our replay.
Here he comes. Nice job on the backflip. Look at the height from John Gordon in Bad Company. Lands pretty hard on those front tires, but gets it to settle down.
So our final competitor, 3-time World Finals champion, Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. Man, he loves to kick it off big with that huge move.
And something I love even more is we watch Tyler do that same thing, but a little bit smaller. And I guarantee you Ryan Anderson is smiling in his helmet, making sure Tyler knows who's boss.
Yeah, and he doesn't have an opportunity at the overall event championship, but he does have an opportunity to go back-to-back because he picked up the freestyle win 1 round ago in Anaheim with moves like that huge air that you see right there.
That is what we call an air off the race ramp. Ryan Anderson, a beautiful throttle rhythm. Here comes into the combination move. Hits the nose wheelie on one wheel, Leslie.
Yeah, it doesn't slow down as fast when you only have one brake working out there.
No, it does not.
Quick turn back around and heads back towards the pod. Now, he's got the most experience of any driver here at Angel Stadium, and he's tied right now for 2nd overall in the history of the event. with Neil Elliott and Adam Anderson with the most freestyle wins. So if he can pick up one more, he can tie himself with the #1 spot. So you know he's all about freestyle, and he's got plenty more packed in for the rest of this run.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what Ryan Anderson is doing and has done. He just hit that step up with great truck awareness. Another big air, getting that truck slowed down. Look at how good he is, making sure that truck doesn't do anything crazy, keeping it on all 4 BKT tires, and then hitting that throttle across this Anaheim Angel Stadium.
Heading for the 8-pack now, and so he's mixing it up a little bit. Immediately goes into reverse to try to get into the moonwalk. Look how quick he shifts.
And now he's hammering on the throttle, son of a digger style. I love it.
Yeah, you know he's not going to end without a wow moment, and so that's what he's searching for here. He knows he needs it if he wants to take the freestyle victory. So going a little sideways, hitting stuff, crossing it up.
Getting a little cross-threading right now. Ryan Anderson is throwing caution to the wind, and he's throwing his body in the wind. I love it. Angel Stadium is on their feet right now.
Using those ramps like a berm to slide out. The truck gets shut off, and that'll do it for Son of a Digger. Was it enough, though? We'll take a look here at our original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
There's that 8-pack backflip, switching it up, a little over rotation, lands on the left rear tire, but throws it in reverse and gets it done.
Ryan's score will put him in second as Tyler wins the competition, his 6th of the year. And so we see Cynthia Gauthier go out there and take 4th. Jim Kohler in Avenger 3rd. Ryan Anderson, of course, as we said, 2nd. And your freestyle winner, Tyler Menninga, just looking so good out there in Gravedigger. So Tyler will add 12 points with the win and finishes with perfection, 36 points, which gives him his 2nd perfect event of the season. Ryan Anderson finishes with 32, Mark List 29, Kohler gets 24, and Disharoon gets 22 to round out our top 5. So this is Tyler's 8th event championship of the season, which leads all of Monster Jam Stadium drivers. And right now, let's check in with him.
Honestly, I think this is my most proud win of the tour so far, because last year we were in Anaheim for 6 events total, and I won 1 competition out of the 6 events. So to not only win in Anaheim, but to completely win the whole event, I love it. Honestly, I just am feeling good this year. If it's not truck problems, I'm feeling good. I haven't really messed up myself yet, so I know it's probably coming, but right now we're rocking and rolling and having a great time. Hopefully going to carry this momentum into next weekend.
And he'll get the opportunity to do that as we continue on this series at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. For Adam Enticknap, I'm Leslie Mears. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you right here next time on Monster Jam.